I do see you as truly this dharma for Grace, for Curtis. Like you were there, we call angel dharma, whatever you want to call.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me, like,
You know what we call it around here? Loudmouth.
I like that. I like that. So
Yeah.
when did you feel this calling? There was a calling. I believe there was a moment that you looked at like, I want to do this with this guy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know that I can pinpoint any one particular second. But there were definitely a series of moments when Curtis got his job at the hotel, which is where we met. Yeah. I was serving as wine director to the hotel, which had like 5-6 restaurants in it. It was a crazy gig. It really was a crazy gig. I mean, it was a running job. And this one restaurant of the many was our fine dining expression. It was the hotel's expression of fine dining. And this kitchen that Curtis was placed in was very much like a blank slate kitchen. We as a hotel kind of looked at it and said, let's just give the room to whoever's in there. The restaurant had no identity. There was stylistically, it was literally a blank slate. I mean, it was just a vomit of beige and grossness. I mean, the room, it was just a room. It was a box. And there was a kitchen in the corner. The smallest kitchen you could ever possibly imagine fitting 5 cooks in, that kitchen. That kitchen was 6 feet shorter than our pastry section of Grace Restaurant. And Curtis goes in there. I say hi to him. And he fed me something one day. Not something, I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was a truffle tapioca chip, and it was like a little shaved moment onto it. And he said, eat that. And I did. And I was like, bah! Wow.
So do you feel it was that moment?
It was awesome. And then I watched him work, and he was always this guy. He was always head down. His face was on the plate. His eyes are on the plate. His hands are on the ingredients. And in a hotel, that's like a hotel every day in a kitchen is like Mardi Gras. It's just the world around you in a hotel is a fucking insanity fest. Because General Motors is having a meeting upstairs. And the prince of whatever just showed up 5 minutes ago and bought the 3rd floor. And all of these things are happening. And then there's this dude in the Avenues kitchen this dude was cool as ice. There was nothing shook him. He didn't give a shit about anything. You want to talk about focus and laser beams? That's all this dude had. He didn't give a shit about nothing. It was awesome. So I kind of made a deal with him, and I said, I'll deal. I'm gonna protect you, because a hotel is an evil thing, filled with many, many, many human beings, all of which have sectional power and opinions. And you want to change a napkin fold, and like 6 people get called into the room to make the call over changing a napkin fold in a dining room. You're like, come on, man. They can eat people like Curtis up eventually, push them out, uproot them, try and tell them what's up. And so I said, listen, I'll deal with all the bullshit. At this particular property, there is a 6th floor with all the execs on it. I said, I'll deal with the 6, and you keep laser beaming, and then let's see what happens. And then we figured out really quick that the widgets that he creates, because that's kind of how I see him, is like a little idea factory for food. I don't know what he does. As people go, oh, you must know so much about the kitchen. I don't know shit about the kitchen. I don't care about it. That's his world. I stay way out of that. I pay very close attention to the widgets that it produces and what they taste like and what they feel like and what they're like to eat and how they experience you and your life at the table. And eventually how I'm going to throw a glass of wine at it. And then I figured, no one's going to know about our widgets unless we figure out how to take sexy pictures of them. And then we hire a photographer. Cha-ching. And we're not doing that again. That was super expensive. Those jerk-offs. They're good, but goddamn, man, you can't survive. And I got a widget factory spitting out new widgets every 10 minutes. Eat this. Look at that. Eat this. I'm like, oh man, the widget. It's like Lucy and I Love Lucy. Like the chocolates are coming out, and you're like,
oh my gosh! And when did you start dreaming together? Because I can see you are in this chaos, right? And you find this man that is able to keep calm in the chaos. and something get your attention, and you mentioned something that is beautiful, so I felt like protecting him, which is beautiful. When you read about Dharma, that's what they feel. Something inside of them feel like, I want to protect this mission. There is a mission that is going to come out of this person. And that's beautiful. So from this moment to where you are today, when did you start dreaming together? When you're like, hey, we got to...
So the friendship was forged in the survival method that you kind of have to survive in the hotel, to protect what your whatever it is you're trying to do in the confines of all the other stuff that happens inside the hotel. We really became very close. And eventually, it became very clear to the two of us that if we were going to really get there, we got to go. We got to get out of here. We got to take a walk. And that sucks. No one wants to hear that. The Michelin Guide showed up in our city, which is a very big situation. It's a very big deal. Maybe you're good. Maybe you think you're good. Maybe you try and be really good. Maybe you have an award here and two or there. Maybe the Chicago Tribune thinks you're the bee's knees, but you never heard what Michelin said. Because the Michelin Guide's never been in your city. And now they are. And Curtis got 2 out of the gate, which was not expected by either one of us. We thought we might be 1-star Johnnies. We're too expensive to get a bib. We're tucked in this hotel. We'll never get a shout out. And then he gets 2. And I looked at him and I go, what do you want to do? What's next? What's next? Because I'm thinking like, let's cash in on the 2 and order like a pizza place or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Ride Harleys, be awesome. And this dude wasn't done. He said he wanted a 3rd star.
Wow.
And I wasn't stupid. I had a million friends that had done it. Not a million, but a few, enough. And I watched them try and not win and end up in financial ruin and divorce and not a lot really to show for it. I mean, you throw that out there into the universe that you're going to climb Everest, because that's what it kind of feels like, really. I mean, there are not a lot of them, just the sheer number of it. Like, you just look at the numbers and you go, never, man, you know? And then you kind of, I don't think we really took a lot of what it was going to take out of our personal lives into context at the time. I don't think you can. I think at the time you just say, fuck it, and go. And then the carnage is the carnage. And you'll deal with that later. Because in the fight, in the battle, when you're building it, and the plumber sucks, and the electrician's on fire, and you know what I mean? It was in that 2-star moment, and then the fire was Duffy. The trigger is always Duffy. He pulls it. He says, I want a 3rd.
Wow.
And we go. And we did.
When I was watching the documentary, one thing that got my attention, that I became so curious, the way that you train the staff, the way that you talk to them.
Is abusive.
Where did you learn this? Were you born? Did you take training?
No.
Did you go to college for that? Like, you are a master in that. Like, this place wouldn't be where it is. I watched the documentary, and I work with companies and training team. I'm like, this man is, I want to buy your book about business.
Yeah, sure.
Like, no, seriously, I'm not just saying that.
No,
I'm serious. Like,
I really
when
appreciate
you're talking,
you saying that. It's hard to hear compliments like that, but yes.
But like, so where did you learn that?
So it's super, well, all of the yippity yap and the showmanship and the tap dancing is a theater background. Where that bug comes from, I got no idea. But for a long time in my life, I cannot even try and deny it. I went to Orange County High School of the Performing Arts. You know,
So
and then after that, I was a theater kid in college.
A theater background.
For sure, yeah. And then, you ready for the spice? You're going to love this because you're a therapist and all. My father is a coach. Like a baseball. So my father is Tony Muser, who has had a long-spanning career in the Major League Baseball organization. And that for one time was even the manager of the Kansas City Royals.
Did you watch your father?
Huh?
Did you watch your father? That's where
Intensely.
You go?
Oh, dear God, yeah. When we were kids in summertime, we would go to wherever he was. And trust me, when I was a kid, it wasn't like Major League. It was like, you know, the El Paso Diablos and the Vancouver Canadians, like minor league baseball. But my father was and is like a chieftain. You know what I mean? He always was. He was coach. He was skipper. And so I have to only imagine. I don't spend a lot of time trying to get into it, but I don't think the apple fell too far from the tree in that sense.
You could share with me a lesson you got from your father that you pass on to the people that work with you, what would be their lesson?
So there was a story that was once told to me that is probably not true. I think my father told it, and he bullshits so much, I don't even know where to start. But when he received this position of manager of the Kansas City Royals, it was mid-season. So a new guy, you know what I mean? Like new sheriff in town,
Wow.
kind of one of those moments. And in the very first days of his position, they go on a road trip. And the team gets a jet. And they go from one place to the next. They get off the jet and they get onto a bus. Mm-hmm. And all of the luggage goes off the jet and gets onto the bus. And my father, as tradition would have it, always sits front seat next to the driver, right? Wide awake, sober as a dog, chewing on tobacco. And the luggage is loaded and the bus goes nowhere for 45 minutes. And he goes down and he gets off the bus as they have a morning to get up to because they have a game the next day and these athletes need to rest and they're very young. Why aren't we moving? He says, we're waiting for the second round. What's the second round of luggage is a series of golf clubs. Because a large percentage of the players figured they would skip in a golf game at some point in time during this road trip. Golf, not baseball. Golf thought, not baseball thought. Leisure time, not work time. Fucking around was smelled. And into the luggage bay he goes and rips out and flings with furious anger every set of golf clubs inside this truck. And golf clubs and golf balls go flying all over the tarmac. And he gets back on the bus and he goes, the next person that brings a set of golf clubs on a road trip about baseball is not going on the next road trip. And he wanted to set a tone. Because here we have a tone. We're in the process of kind of resetting it because restaurants live lives and people come and people go. I'd love for everyone to work here for as long as I'm gonna, but they're not. They're young, I hire young. So they move and they fly and they float. And you get new ones in. And when the new ones come in, you get scared. Is it losing its foundation? Are we as intense as we always were? Do we believe and do we show the things that we believed when we opened? Am I that same guy marching around barking and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. So when you drive this bus, you carry this that your father taught you to be intense. What I'm hearing is like, be intense, be 100% in what.
There's nothing half-ass about being a muser. God put you here to work. That was said a lot. You're here to work. Go to work.
Who
you know what I mean?
was your mentor? Who inspired you in your life?
Well, dad's always your dad's a thing. So pop's always a big one. And then a series of professors and teachers, all of them in education, I would say, across the board. Educators across the board. Sommelier educators.
Is your father still alive?
Yeah. Old as a battle tank. I say he's more machine now than he is man because he's got like new hips and whatnot. But grandchildren are bursting. And I'm telling you, it's just hysterical to watch him soften because what was once, right? Mm-hmm. But you see it, if you saw the documentary, you see me cry a lot.
Is he playing golf now?
He plays golf incessantly, and I hate golf. I like playing video game golf, but not regular golf.
Michael, one thing that you said, that your theater background kind of helped you in your leadership style. But what is interesting to me is because theater does have, and I did theater show in Brazil for many years, and theater does have that, you are lying, you are pretending, you are pretending. But what is beautiful about what I saw in the documentary about your managing style, you're really worried about being real. Telling your
honesty
people
first.
Honesty first.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, this guy said, theater inspired me, but I love honesty, I love being real. And when I watch them, I'm like, wow, so where did you get this from?
I see all of this as theater. If you've done plays and musical theater and stuff, you'll laugh hysterically. They are, the parallels are abound. Downstairs, we have changing rooms. They're absolutely no different than any makeup room you get in backstage. Those are costumes they're wearing. This is a stage we sit upon. There are audience members that come into this theater and sit down. They are playing a part in a play that we put on. This is Tony and Tina's wedding, baby. This is every single night, my actors show up to put on an awesome play. And like any cast, the play is only as good as the weakest cast member.
Wow.
So there's that chain, right? There are lead actors, supporting actors. The captains are the lead actors. They're the Nicole Kidmans, Tom Cruises, you know. They're in front of the audience a lot. They have a lot of lines to say tonight. Everyone kind of does their thing. And how you prepare yourself and how we see this experience mentally, this is theater. We say, Curtis, I say this all the time. You ready for this one? Ready for my next pitch? I'm sorry, but I write them all the time in my head because all I do is sell this thing and talk about it. But this is super true. It's not bullshit. We see this kind of as a concert hall sometimes. I do. Duffy's back there as some kind of whatever, playing music. A guitarist, a violinist, a rock star. He loves Manson and all that stuff. I don't understand that, but whatever. And you're here tonight to hear him play. And the menu is an album. And you know what? Here's the deal. And this is where you got to stay with me. Like a lot of your favorite artists' album, you're not going to love every track. There's going to be experimental moments on there where you're going to go, where the fuck is he going with that? I don't understand. I eat his food. I eat courses from him all the time. And I'm like, it's muddy and earthy and I know what to pair and I get it, but I don't understand what you're saying there. And I'm not sure I would put it there on the album, but I know when to shut up, which is rare. But when it comes to his food and stuff, I say what I say and I walk away. And sometimes I know, and sometimes I'll throw it out there and sometimes I won't. And you know when he listens to me? Almost never. But he hears me. I know he hears me. But so this album is going to have all kinds of different stuff on it. And there will be pop hits, by the way. Like his crab dish. Yummy, yummy. And like you could eat 70 of those and want 40 more. There are bites that are just glorious and fun. But I know he takes liberty in certain courses that go, I want to do that. And I think it should go there because it'll tie back in with a dessert that I thought about 4 courses later.
So, Michael, so if this is a theater when the lights goes off and it's you in your personal life, who is Michael? Knowing the theater.
You're going to be so disappointed. He's
I don't
just a
think
simple dude with a glass of scotch and an Xbox controller in his hand. I got 2 dogs I love more than you could ever. Oh, do I have dogs?
Oh.
I have the greatest dogs. I've finally met someone that is not what anybody thought I would end up with.
Why?
Because she keeps me straight. You know what I mean? Like, it's just oh man, my Jamie is, I wish everybody had a Jamie. She's just the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And then she straightens me where I'm curvy. And she says I'm ridiculous when no one in the room will throw it.
How did you meet her?
Through life and work and she, you know, and just restaurants and wine. And it was not the right time for us to meet when we met. And life got super fucked up in between us getting a chance to be right. And for reasons I can't imagine, I know we're working because we're working and it's all there. So things are great. That's who I am. After all this is all done, I'm me with her and those dogs and this baby on the way, which I'm so scared.
Are you scared?
Oh, I'm scared
Why?
shitless.
Why?
Because I don't know how it's going to time its way. I don't know how. I have 44 children that I promise can call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on my cell phone, and I swear to God, I'll pick it up. And they know that. What am I going to do? I don't have no idea what I'm going to do. And people go, nanny. I'm not doing a nanny. I'm not.
But do you know what I hear with, a little bit that I'm talking to you, I just see a man that has such a big heart. You want to make so many people happy. Yeah. And I feel this fear comes from a place of you really don't want to disappoint this child. You want to be the best. Right. You want to be the best father. And I'm 100% sure you already is.
I think I'm ready, but I'm 42 if I'm not ready now. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? But what you said is true because I say to Curtis all the time, he's like, what's going on, what's wrong? I go, Mike in the middle is what's going on. I say that all the time because I feel like I'm always in the middle of shit because I'm that guy. I just get involved.
And one of my last questions is, if you would have a second chance to do anything different, is there something in your life they would do differently?
No. I can't imagine my life without my wife and those dogs in this and where I'm at. I can't even imagine a day without wondering what Curtis and I are going to do tomorrow. Or, I don't know. Everybody's in my life for reasons right now that I just can't imagine it any different. I want more time. Who doesn't? Wake up. Okay, fine. Welcome to America. Donald Trump's president. Go back to work. I want more time. I want to ride motorcycles more. I want to explore more. I want to see more stuff. I want to be able to breathe and chill and take pictures of things and wonder. I want to read more. I want to podcast more. I want to do more stuff. I want more charity in my life. But that shit takes time. And we do a lot for charity around here. But this place is 14 hours of your day. So figure the other ones out, and now I'm having a baby.
I know. You'll be fine. My last question to you.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
We don't yet. We're going to
Okay.
find out in the next 7 to 10 days.
So your baby, let's go to the future, and your baby's a grandfather, and he's talking, or she's talking to her or his grandkids.
Yeah.
You are no longer here.
Yeah.
What do you want them to say about you?
Oh, what do I want that kid to say? That he was a very hard worker, and that he cared very passionately about what he did, and that there were times in his career where he actually saw some success. That would be cool. And you know what I mean? Yeah. And he was a good family man that loved his family and took care of his family.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking with you.